Good afternoon to everyone at today's public hearing of Panel A of the Prosecutor Vetting Commission. My name is Christopher Lehman, chairperson of the panel, and I declare the session to be open. The Prosecutor Vetting Commission is established under Law 252 on the external evaluation of judges and prosecutors. Law number 252 establishes that this commission will undertake an ethical and financial evaluation of prosecutors who are identified in Article 3, Paragraph 1 of that law as subjects of the evaluation. This three-member panel is constituted to conduct the evaluation pursuant to Article 15 of Law 252. The hearing is being conducted pursuant to the provisions of Article 16 of that law, as well as consistent with the Commission's rules of procedure for evaluations under Law number 252. The subject of today's hearing is Ghennadi Epure, a prosecutor in the Anticorruption Prosecutor's Office. Mr. Epure, welcome. I'm joined by my colleagues on this panel. To my right, Nadezhda Hryptievsky, and on my left, Saskia de Vries. The panel is also assisted by members of our secretariat. This hearing is open to the public and members of the media. The hearing will be conducted in interpretation into both English and Romanian. And to allow for accurate interpretation, I ask you and everyone to please speak slowly and clearly. The proceedings are being recorded, and the recordings of the public hearing will be available online on the Commission's website within 3 days after the hearing. During this hearing, one or more members of the panel will ask questions to you. Please answer them truthfully and completely. Your explanations are important to us in verifying your compliance with the criteria for financial and ethical integrity. In formulating our questions, we'll take into account your privacy and, where required and possible, privacy of family members and close persons. So we will leave out unnecessary details relating to ID numbers, bank account numbers, specific real estate addresses, and the like. And for your own privacy, we would ask that you do the same. We will also give you an opportunity to make a closing statement to the panel at the conclusion of the hearing. Let me start by briefly reviewing the evaluation process. The Commission initiated its evaluation on the 24th of May, 2024, by notifying the subject by email and asking him to complete and return the ethics questionnaire and a financial declaration form as required under Law 252. The subject returned the completed questionnaire and declarations on the 10th of June, 2024. As part of the evaluation of the subject's financial and ethical integrity, the Commission also obtained information from many other sources, such as the National Integrity Authority, the State Fiscal Service, the General Inspectorate of the Border Police, other public agencies, financial institutions, and open sources. The Commission assesses the information it obtains from these sources for relevance and reliability. The Commission also sent you 5 rounds of questions. Those were on the 24th of January, 2025, the 5th of August, the 2nd of September, the 12th of September, and the 9th of October of 2025, and you responded to all of those. On the 27th of October, 2025, the panel notified you of today's hearing and further advised you that after the analysis of the accumulated information, the panel did have certain doubts that we wanted to discuss with you. Those doubts were detailed in an annex that was attached to the hearing notice that was sent to you. You responded to that notice on the 27th of November of this year. We note, as the panel has already advised you in the annex, that questions that the panel may have relating to pending court proceedings will be heard in closed session, but we'll initially start with an open session. Mr. Epure, again, thank you for appearing today. I'm going to begin with 2 short questions to you, which I ask everyone, and I'll ask you to respond in a complete and truthful manner. The first of those is whether you wish to make any additions or corrections to the information or answers that you've provided up until now to the Commission.
Good afternoon, and well, thank you for the question, but there's nothing for me to add. All of the information that I was able to put together, I've shared that with you.
Thank you. The second is whether the answers to the ethics questionnaire and the financial declarations that were returned to the Commission back on the 10th of June 2024, is there anything changed or that needs to be updated on those forms?
No, there's nothing. The information remains the same.
Okay. At this time, I will ask Ms. De Vries to proceed with questions.
And I will. And I will be talking about the first issue in the hearing notice, and this is regards a payment in cash of approximately 310,000 lei, which you made on July 8, 2020, to a building company. And this was a deposit guarantee, more or less, for an apartment that you wanted to buy. This deposit was returned to you a few weeks later when you were able to get a bank loan for the purchase of the apartment. You have declared all this, and you have also given us documentation from the building company. Thank you for that. The panel has asked you during the rounds of questions what the source of funds was for this cash amount, and you have answered that you did not have the funds yourself, but your father-in-law was kind enough to step in. And he gave the money. After the guarantee deposit was returned to you, you have given the money back to him. And according to your answers in the written round, you have received the cash first in cash from your father-in-law, and you were the person who delivered the cash to the building company. Is this all correct? Okay. And you have stated, and now we're coming to the other facts, you have stated that the reason why your father-in-law did not make the payment to the building company because he was out of the country, and that he was out of the country because of work. The panel has asked information on this, the dates, and you have we have received from you a copy of his Moldovan passport, which did not show any trips in July. Your father-in-law has a second passport, but we did not receive a copy from that. Is that correct?
Yes, I provided the copy of the Moldovan passport, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if I submitted a copy of the Romanian passport.
I don't think you did. But what you did supply us with is an Excel spreadsheet from the General Inspectorate of the Border Police. And according to your statement, you can see in that Excel sheet that the trips that your father-in-law made since January 20, and that there were several trips in the period of July or August 2020. We have tried to verify this because we asked the same information from the Border Police, and we have sent you yesterday, there's been a lot of sending of documents, that they don't have that information, it's no longer available, it's no longer in the system. Can you tell me how you were able to get this spreadsheet from the Border Police?
Thank you very much for your question. Yes, I made an official request countersigned by my father-in-law, because these are personal data and they cannot be supplied to family members. That's why I made an official letter. I found a moment when my father-in-law was home, so I asked him to countersign this letter. I sent this letter to the General Border Police Inspectorate.
care, după o zi sau două, am primit un apel telefonic de la
they
ei,
called me on the
unde m-au întrebat
second or
referitor
third
la
day. So they asked me
informația respectivă cum
about
poate fi
this
obținută
information
și în cât timp.
and
Mi-au
when I
comunicat
need
că
it.
pentru a obține această
So they
informație
told
este
me
nevoie ca pe contul bancar al companiei,
that in order to get this information, I had to pay 50 lei on the bank account, or it was a higher amount. It depends on how quickly the reply was needed. And
această informație
this information
cumva să vină
should
tata personal
be
pentru a o ridica.
taken by my father-in-law personally. I informed them that I have a very short deadline by the Vetting Commission to provide an answer. It was 1 week, if I'm not mistaken. I did not want for the Commission to wait. I asked them to send me the information by email. They said that as an exception, they can send me the information in an Excel table.
Semnătură doar în cazul în care achit taxa și
they could submit it
procedurile.
with a signature only if I paid the fee. I agreed with that. I received the information by email and I submitted it to the Vetting Commission. In the official notification that I received on October 27, 2025, I saw that the Commission has questions regarding the accuracy of this information, though I do not believe that there should be any doubt regarding the accuracy of this information, because it contains the number, the passport number, date and time. So this data cannot be taken from another or cannot be related to another passport. I made another request this week with the official signature of my father-in-law. So it was a repeated request because my father-in-law did not go in person to take the reply for the first request, because I thought the Commission would rely on the Excel table submitted. So I submitted a repeated request. I paid the 50 lei fee yesterday. So I've requested this information repeatedly. So now I'm waiting for my father-in-law to come back from his trip, because now he's in Romania. So when he is in the country, he will go in person to the General Inspectorate of the Border Police to take the same information, but with signature and seal this time.
But can you supply the panel with a copy of the Romanian passport, because that would be, I think.
Da, mulțumesc foarte mult pentru întrebare.
Yes, thank you very much for this statement. I forgot to mention it. During the discussions with my father-in-law, I've found out that if you have Romanian citizenship and you have many trips abroad on a weekly basis or even 2 or 3 times a week, the border police does not apply any seal in the Romanian passport. So even if I submit a copy of the Romanian passport after this hearing,
it's not stamped.
Da, nu, da, exact.
Correct, it's not stamped. The passport will be with no stamp, because no stamp is applied in the Romanian passport the way they do in the Moldovan passport.
If there are no questions on this, I'll move to the next stage, and this is everything that we have heard from you on the source of funds for the money that your father-in-law was kindly enough to borrow you. And the panel takes into account that more or less in the same time, I think even in the same month, you also received a donation of 200,000 lei. You have presented the panel with some documentation on your father-in-law, and we further analyzed the official income of your parents during the period 2012 and 2020, and the total outcome is then that they have earned 715,000 MDL, and then we have the SEP, of course, and that is 445,000 lei, which means basically that the funds which are according to all the documentation available are not sufficient for the loan and for the donation in July 22. What would you like to say on this?
Mulțumesc pentru întrebare.
Thank you for your question.
Deci, referitor la acest aspect,
Regarding
vreau să
this
clarific
issue,
niște
I would
chestiuni.
like to clarify the following.
Deci, într-adevăr,
Yes,
conform notificării
indeed,
făcute de
according
comisie
to
și
the
modalitatea
notification
de
made by the
calcul,
Commission
Comisia a luat
and
în calcul
according to the
perioada
calculations,
2012-2020,
the Commission took into account the
adică
period between
calculul
2012 and
veniturilor oficiale
2020.
ale socrilor.
So you calculated the
Constatând
official
că în
income
perioada
of parents-in-law,
2012-2020, socrii au acumulat un venit
and
oficial
finding
de
an official total income of 715,000 lei. So these are the official salaries earned on the territory of the Republic of Moldova. Also, the calculations of CAP totals 445,000 lei, and the remaining available cash that could have been used for the loan and for the donation.
312.486 lei și 201.000 lei donația.
312,486 lei would not be enough. A bit over 270,000 was missing. In order to confirm the income of my parents-in-law, I submitted to the Commission information from the State Tax Service regarding the official income by years from 2007 to 2012. So, according to the calculations made by the Commission has reached the conclusion that since in 2012 the parents-in-law did not have any cash as savings. But I want to say that both the parents-in-law and the information submitted to the Commission shows that my father-in-law made a statement declaring that he was working in the Republic of Moldova together with the mother-in-law since 1990. So, in order to justify this information, I submitted to the Commission a copy of their employment record card showing the official work activity in Moldova since 2005 and since 2006 in case of my mother-in-law. Both parents-in-law contacted the tax service asking about the period from 1990 to 2005, and the tax service said that they did not have in their database information for the periods prior to 2007. That's why we could not submit information between 1990 to 2007. But we did not stop there. We made a request to the National Social Insurance House. We asked information about the income of my parents-in-law, and the National Social Insurance House managed to give to us information about the social insurance contributions paid. So they could not submit any information on the income earned, but on the social contribution paid. made. So in case of my father-in-law, the social insurance house, they confirmed that my father has been working on the territory of the Republic of Moldova since 1999 and my mother-in-law since 2006 till today. So during this period of time, my parents-in-law worked officially on the territory of the Republic of Moldova. Moreover, based on the discussions I had with both parents-in-law, they told me that they are working officially since 1990. And to confirm that, I submitted to the Commission a statement from the National Social Insurance House, which indicates that he was employed on March 21st, 1990. So this is the date when he was first employed, until 1999. And on other pages, you can see information until 2023. So he has been working since 1990. But the national database contains information only since 2007. I mean information about income. So we made all of the necessary requests. We submitted the reply from the National Social Insurance House to the Commission. So there is no income information for periods prior to 2007. So I believe that the Commission should take into account this aspect when calculating the income for the period between 1990 to 2012, and then from 2012 to 2022, when the Commission found a discrepancy between income and expenses of my parents-in-law. Because, as I've said, they have been working officially on the territory of the Republic of Moldova since 1990, in case of my father-in-law. Unfortunately, I cannot provide this information because I did not manage to get them. But if we think logically, the period that has to be taken into account when calculating the available cash in 2020, when the Commission found the discrepancy, is the past 30 years, 1990 to 2020. But due to reasons that are beyond our capacities, this information could not be submitted.
Thank you. I understand that. I understand that you cannot give the information to calculate the income, but on the other side, we should also be able to calculate the expenses. And basically, now we are in a void. You sent us an additional statement from your father-in-law. I'd just like to mention it. We did not have the time to go thoroughly look at it. So if we have additional questions, we will come back to you. In which he mentions that he worked in Russia and he also received donations from his daughter and his sister, if I'm right. But this is a statement which has no underlying documents, so that makes it very difficult for the Commission to work with. Is there any other additional information that you would like to present on this issue?
No, I just want to repeat that, yes, indeed, my both parents are still working legally, and considering the period that was taken into account by the Commission, they have worked throughout the whole period legally, with small breaks. In 2004, he traveled for 1 year to work in Russia, and in 2018, he also spent a couple of months abroad. As for the rest, they have been employed officially in different jobs on the territory of the Republic of Moldova.
before we move to the next issue, you already said it, but I just wanted to make sure that it's presented in this meeting, that the panel also looked, of course, at your income, your financial position, to see if you had the money yourself to pay, but you already explained that that money was not, you did not have it, which is exactly why your father-in-law stepped in. Do any of my colleagues have any questions on this? Okay, then I think we need to close.
All right. At this point, before we turn to questioning on the next matter, it is questions that relate to pending litigation. So we will go into a closed session. Just make sure. Mr. Epure, thank you for your answers today. At this point, we normally give the subject an opportunity to make a closing statement to the Commission.
First of all, I would like to thank you for all the assessment work with regards to myself. I know that this implies a huge amount of work. I'm happy that I was able to go through with this process and to be able to look back into my history in terms of financial, ethical matters. So grateful to you, and I hope that the Commission will take on board and into account everything that I've shared with the Commission in this hearing, and I wish the best of luck to all of those who are yet to go through this process, which I believe to be an important one for the rule of law and for our country. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your participation both in the evaluation process and at the hearing today. And so I will announce that the hearing is closed. Thanks.